Let me just see if I can get the channel up. Couldn't get it up last week. Welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Johnny Boy. We've got the book this morning. Will we get anybody watching at the moment? But this is the book. This is the new Tobermoor Diary, or the notebook. We've got some notes in there, which I'm going to go with in a moment. But what I want to try and do, I want to get the channel up live at the moment. Here we go. Let's just see if I can find it. It's a funny thing, isn't it, when I haven't got an audience at the moment, but I'll carry on talking because somebody's going to watch this at a later date. There we go. Let's just get it up. Turn the volume down. There we are. Get that off. No one's waiting. No one's joined. Oh, we have got two has joined us this morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Johnny Boy. Richard Dow's joined us. Good morning, Richard Dow. There we are. We got through another week, haven't we? Whether you're a consumer or a contractor, we made it. Dave Jones, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Good to see people. Lewis Taylor's just joined us. Good morning, Lewis. How are you there? Look, just let's remind our audience, if you are new to this, like Mario, good morning. It's my mate. That's how I see him as me. 12 live viewers, 1 like. Let's just Stan, good morning from Aberystwyth. Stan, where my father was from, Aberystwyth. Good to see you. Lots of Robertses in Aberystwyth, without a doubt. I am well. I'm really well this morning, Stan. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. Matthew Potter. Good morning, Silver Fox. Do you know, I love Potter coming on. I was going to give him a call this week, and I thought, no, I'm not going to give him a call. I'm going to wait for him to call me. But Mr. Potter there in the Midlands. Look, what we want to do this morning, we want you to sort of get into the feel of these live streams, and the feel of the live stream is to interact, and you can comment, you can have a question, you can pose a question, you can ask me anything you like, you can drop me an email, anything. Not anything, don't drop anything, just drop me an email or give us a call. The number is 07795 664 002. If you want to get involved this morning, you can do that. And just get that up now so people can actually see it. Let's get the glasses on. 07795 95 664 002. Let's get that on there now. You can actually see that. 07795 664 002. We'll get that on there now so you can actually see that. So if you want to call this morning, you can. But what I want to try and do as well is that if you want to send a picture to me of where you are this morning, no rude pictures. I don't want to see any pictures of young Mario there in front of the fire in his Y fronts. But if you can just picture that. But wherever you are across the country, if you want to send me a picture, the number to send it on is this. You can do it on WhatsApp. If you're on WhatsApp, 07795 595 994. I did that without the glasses. There's the number you can actually send to me. We got James there this morning. Morning, JB here from Dorset. We spoke on the phone last week. I know James, and I'm getting used to remembering people's names. Don't forget, mine, as you join the live stream, you need to give it a like, or you can give it a like if you want to give it a like. If you're a troller or a hater, just give it a like anyway. It'll be really nice because we want to get you on board at the end of the day. You don't really mean it. It's not the way you really are, and you just find fun a difficult thing. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay to be a troller and a hater for a while. You'll get over it. It's baggage. You'll have a chip on your shoulder about something, but you can give me a like if you want to. So the number to call this morning is 07795 595 994. And that's the number to send me a picture on WhatsApp. Stan says the others just smash the thumbs up button. That's how it's done. Thank you for that, Stan. Hey, look, listen. We've done lots of live streams. I've stayed with it, and you. I ain't saying you actually owe it to me to give it a like, but to be fair, I've been on here every Saturday morning. Carl Button's doing this morning, Carl. Good to see you, bud. But I've been doing these live streams for some time now. I'm going to go back and check and see how far we. I'll check. I see I spelled that wrong, haven't I? So I need to edit that, don't I? I need to edit the how the heck I've put. There we are, because I'm always in a bit of a rush. It's good to see Matt just sent me a message there. Look, send me a picture where you are. It's 07795 595 904. Just WhatsApp me a picture of where you are. I don't want to see you in the bathtub or anything, but I just want to know where you are. I've got an interest in you, and my interest is it's just nice to be nice and pleasant to people, and see what other people's doing. These live streams aren't just about me. As you can see by the title, I've actually got it wrong, and there you are. That just says it all, doesn't it? Have I done that on purpose? Business, health, heck for 2023. What I meant to say, check. That's how we make mistakes. We've made mistakes many times throughout the year, throughout our life, and we can improve. We'll carry on improving, but till the day we die, we'll carry on making mistakes. It's just the nature of it. It's just the balance and how things are done. We make mistakes on a regular basis. And probably there's lots of guys across the country making lots of mistakes technically in our work, but we need to get those things right. And what we need to do, so what I'm proposing in the new year is let's just have a workshop day, maybe once a month throughout the year, and we're going to do it. That's just one day, okay? One day, a few hours, maybe 5 hours out of your time, a couple of hours traveling, and it'll be in Banbury in Oxford. And the reason for this, and I'm not plugging him, and I'm not getting paid to say it. Good morning, Rob. Good to see you. You're an absolute star. Really appreciate all your support. Look, my three lads out for Christmas. Took my three lads out for Christmas last night and feeling a little hungover. That's good. That's good. Good morning, Ian. Don't worry about it, mate. I don't worry about it, Ian. I'm just saying. I know there's a delay on these live streams this morning, but no, I don't worry about that sort of thing. It's not a problem at all. But I'm just trying to convert them. Okay, there is some nice in people out there, and it just needs to be drawn out. It needs to be pulled out. What we're talking about this morning, we're talking about, is landscaping business and contracting business, are we in a good way? Is our business healthy? And it probably isn't. When we look at ourselves on a daily basis, do we say to ourselves every day, could have it been better today? In whatever you're doing through the course of the day, could your business be better in some way? Well, of course it could. We can all improve. There's always got to be room for improvement, and there's no doubt about it. Mario's on fire. There's no doubt about it, is that I can do a lot more, but the reason I can't do a lot more is because of staffing, not problems, staffing choice. And there's no doubt in the future, the way things are going on the commercial sites is that we are having copious amounts of people actually applying for jobs. Good morning, Alison. A very good morning. I haven't seen her this morning. She's out and about, and then all of a sudden she just appears. There she is there. She says, good morning, one and all. So is our business in a good way going into 2023? But first of all, I want to say a massive thanks to everybody that's been joining these live streams on a regular basis. If I could send you all a present, I would love to. And maybe in the future, we're going to start giving more things away like we've done in the past. It just takes up so much time, and it does affect my business. I'll tell you now, in the new year, when I start having some time now, we've got the cable, we've got it ducted, we're going to be in the studio, and we're going to have it a little bit more than what we have here. We're a bit restricted to what we can do on these live streams here. Whereas when we're in the studio, we'll be able to do some demonstrations. If you choose to watch and wait on these demonstrations, we can actually explain the things that we're talking about, and we'll be able to show you, and maybe we'll be able to get some people that are bothered to even come and showcase their products on a Saturday morning. It's something that we always done for many, many years, was to work a Saturday morning. It was a must. That's how it was done. And if you didn't do it, you were scorned upon it, and it would take a couple of months to get over it or to get your supervisor to get over it, because he'll always remember that you never turned up on a Saturday morning. Good morning, Alison. I hope you are well. I love it, the way the people are on here. They are so respectful. We've got 13 live viewers. Absolutely fine. It's no problem at all. That's how it's done, because people, last week, the live stream really did really well. I mean, it had quite a few views. I've looked at other podcasts in the past, and they don't necessarily do well. I've seen one from Blue Circle. I still think after 4 years, they're still on 18 views, and they've decided that they're not doing nothing, and maybe they don't need to do a podcast because everybody knows who a Blue Circle is. I've got a little book here this morning. This book was given to me yesterday. I did a little video yesterday, and it was about becoming a Tobermoor approved installer. I've been on approved installer schemes many times in the past, and they weren't always for me. And the reason they weren't always for me is because the people that assessed the work had never had a clue about what the work was about. It's as simple as that. So the people that was assessing the work that would come and see you to check you and fill in those forms weren't necessarily the right people on the job. And that's not a good thing, is it? You know, if we want somebody to assess us, you want somebody that has some knowledge. So yesterday I had the Tomore rep, a young lad called Dom, and I'm going to help to educate him as much as I can about paving. And you know, is their job, should their job be about paving? Because they are liaising at the end of the day, they are networking. And that's the thing about the past. What you always found is that people would assess you who never had a clue about things, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good way forward. So the role of the assessor should be more technical than what it is. Yeah, and I think it should be. They should understand it a little bit more. But with the help of YouTube videos now, this will help them to do it. But it's almost, watching a YouTube video is almost like going to university for 4 or 5 years and not necessarily understanding the job, because you've never been on site in any shape or form. Doing a university degree in civil engineering, you're not necessarily going to get to site maybe occasionally, whereas if you was doing an HND or an HNC whilst working for a company, you are going to get that hands-on experience. But you'll have to catch up on a Saturday morning. Nothing comes without hard work. It's as simple as that. So the book, this book is going to stay with me now, so every time we do these live streams, I've got it written down here already. My handwriting is not like a doctor's. Alison can't understand it, but it is good. Let me get my glasses on. Obviously, we call it the book. Just got to read what people say there now. New Views is just joining. It's morning, guys. Good morning, New Views. Good to see you on there. Can't button. Hopefully, the 22nd, if we get the project finished. Mario Ritchie says, all done and dusted until the 7th of January. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just wondering, what are you guys doing? Do customers and consumers actually want you around now before Christmas? Well, I suggest in some cases they do. Certainly my customer, Richie, my friend, he will want me there. He will want me down there, and because he likes me, first and foremost, but he wants to probably get it a little bit moved on a little bit more, so it looks a little bit more respectable and tidy at Christmas when visitors come around to have a look. It's funny with these live streams, I'm not quite sure whether I hit the ground running with them or not, but certainly this morning, when I want to talk about things and things I've listed, I don't necessarily hit the ground running, because it sort of stutters a little bit, you know. There we are, Saturday morning live. I've got the 17th of December, and the question is your business in a good health? And are you in good health? That's the other questions that we got to think of about for 2023. It's always when we come to this part of the year, we start thinking about our health, and we may start wanting to go to the gym or to get out walking, and then all of a sudden we just go back into, we drop into the way we were, you know. And that's the thing about the business. Those two things sort of go hand in hand with our health and with our business. It's not always a good thing, but we start out, we mean to start out on the right road, but the fact is that we don't maintain it, and that's the thing. It's about commitment and consistency. If you don't have commitment, you won't start. So once you started, that's a good thing, but you need the consistency. 2 magical ingredients. I'm going to write those down there, and I'm going to write them to the left-hand side, because they're probably the 2 magic words that we actually think about when we think about those questions I asked. Was about commitment. Let me write those down now, just bear with me, and I'll remember this: commitment and consistency. It's always, I'll understand it. Commitment and consistency in inverted commas. It's the thing that we need. We always have good intentions when we start. Next year we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we think about this, and then we believe it's going to happen. But the fact is, it doesn't. And it's those 2 ingredients: commitment and consistency. It's so important to maintain what you're doing and what you hope to have done. Let me just read what people are saying. Alison says, Mario Ritchie, have a lovely Christmas, Mario, and well-earned rest. He's such a lovely guy. If you guys could meet Mario, you'd see what I mean. He's a cracking guy. Lewis Taylor says, should have finished last week, but need some warmth for the last 2 days. Hopefully this week. Yeah, it's going to start warming up on Monday, but we're going to have a little bit of rain as well, Lewis. Just think about that, and think about the temperatures in the night, where the temperatures, don't just think that during the day the temperatures are okay. We got to think about the night, and if we've got water and rain in our joints in the night, in the daytime, in the nighttime it's going to freeze possibly. So just check the weather on that. New View says landscaping all done 9th of January. Now couldn't get the porcelain finished due to the weather, so we'll go back nice and fresh in the new year, and we all need some downtime. We do. It's been a hell of a last couple of years. It's been absolutely wild. We've never experienced nothing like it, with COVID, with the economic downturn, etc. But we still got to make sure our business is in good health. Mario Ritchie says, some suppliers, as long as you buy their products, you are listed as approved, no checks done. How does that work? Well, it doesn't work at all, does it? You know, it's not good at all. They need to do an audit on the people that they say that are approved installers. And I know this morning there will be companies, manufacturers and suppliers across the country that have installer scheme that aren't auditing the people they have on their approved installers list that they're recommending. It's not always a good thing, is it? Recommendations are not always good unless you know what people can actually do. Love this morning. We're having a great response. Please come back with us with all your questions. Let me have a look on that now. James says, we need to work a work-life balance. That is really hard to maintain when you're self-employed. You are the worker, the admin, the promoter, sorting tools, scheduling, etc. This all eats into you. Yeah, it does, without a doubt. I think, James, you absolutely summed it up perfectly there. You know, we got to remember. We're masters of our own destination, aren't we? And what we've got to do on a regular basis, we've got to find a formula to actually deal with all these things. And these are the things that I was going to talk about this morning. But as usual, you guys come back with so much. Great live stream this morning, absolutely loving it, because I can see the questions and it's promoting a little bit of conversation here. Thank you, Alison. Have a great Christmas, says Carl. Your own personal time. It's hard to find the balance, without a doubt. Ian says, is staffing the biggest problem in business like yours face right now? Yeah, I'm going to show that. That's no problem at all. Ian, yeah, without a doubt. Just listen to what Ian says. He says, is staffing a big problem? It is a massive problem, Ian. The reason that staffing is a big issue is simply because there's many reasons for it, but obviously with the construction industry and the house build, the way they're going, and we look at house builds, and not always the best, are they? You know, this house was new 16 years ago, and the quality of the build was quite poor, and I think it's gone downhill since the apprenticeship system has gone, and as a result of that, it's just affected the industry across the board. It's not a good thing, and the people that we want to come and work for us or work in the construction industry on the house builds, and not all of them are the best, are they? And we know that there are some really good guys around laying bricks, doing groundwork, doing plumbing, etc. But the trouble is they fall into this environment of getting things done really fast because they're under pressure and they're not necessarily getting the right prices. So the industry is affected by that, and this is what I talk about: is your business in good health? And our business is in many ways. Apart from me, I'm not in good health because I've got a bad hip. That plays up, the back plays up, etc. It's difficult, but apart from that, the business is good. And the reason it's good, because if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Got a job to keep up with all this morning. Let me have a little look at my Haunted Landscapes. Morning, John. We are finished on the 23rd of December. I'd say, well, it's mad, isn't it? Richard said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for that, Rich. Haunted Landscapes. Morning, John. We are finished on the 23rd. I don't know if you guys will take it to the last minute. I always used to finish literally on Christmas Eve in the afternoon about 2:30, and then I would go and do my shopping. And Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Is it good planning? It's always difficult to actually get it right in so many ways, isn't it? You know, because the pressure that's applied upon us. Alison says, James B. Agree, James. We all wear so many caps. Sometimes I think consumers think we are their beck and call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, they probably do. Because we offer them the service, but they've got to understand that there are office hours, there's times, and that's the thing, you see, James. This is where we put our business in a good health check and like you said, that you're shutting down for a certain period. That's it. You can forget about it, and that's what we need to do. We need opening times. Don't get answering the phone after 4:30, 5 o'clock. Don't do it. Don't look at your phone, or maybe you have a time. When you come back, you allocate a slot, an hour, to maybe check your phone, but you need to get that balance right about what you're doing and what the time you're spending with your family. Don't get on the phone. Health check. This is what it's about, being in a good health check. Having a regime of what you do is so important. Having a routine. We are human beings. We are habit is our routine. That's what we do. We've got to think about what we're doing, because if we just answer the phone as and when, they're just going to be on the phone all the time to us. They got to recognize. Go on Google my business, and say, if you look at some of these businesses, that we are now closed. Okay, we are now closed. It will give an option to drop an email. And Alison, we have an automated call with the answer machine, so it rules out the time that Alison's actually spending in the office. Okay, and it just helps them to send some information, and then we can start picking through those emails. Let's have a look now. David Jones says the amount of time comes down to how the bank balance is. Good point. Totally agree with that. That's what it is, but we can, I think, Dave, we can actually make things better for ourselves by sort of allocating. Time management is so important. That's what we got to think about. Time management. Mary says, good idea. This is what this channel does on a regular basis. You see people commenting on it, and people will learn from other people. It's not just me. I'm not Mr. Miyagi. I can't tell you it all. And it's great responding, so I can respond to what people are saying. I'd love to come on here and actually do a live stream and actually not say nothing, not respond, and just flow with it and just talk about what I want to try and get out. But the fact is that people want to talk. This is what we've done. We've built a community. We've got 13 live viewers. We've got 13 likes. Absolutely fine. 40 now. Let's give it another like. I don't know if we're going to have a call this morning. If you want to call in this morning, the number is 07795 07795 664 002. I love one of you guys to call now this morning. Mobile phones and instant messaging means there is no office out anymore from a customer's point of view. Well, maybe. I think there's ways that you can actually portray that you're actually in the office. They wouldn't ring a landline at 11 p.m., but they ring a text mobiles. Yeah, that's right. But you can actually put restrictions on your phones for certain times as well. There's nothing worse. Don't look at your phone. That you've just got to get away from it and concentrate on what you need to get done. Do one job at a time. Get that done. Sometimes you can't do all those jobs. New Views Landscape said, such a shame for the amount you pay for a new build, and the lack of quality in the actual build is ridiculous in most cases. It certainly is with this New Views. I don't know what your name is, New Views, but I'd love to know what it is, so I can address you in the right way. But this was a really bad, poorly built house. And now as well, and certainly because of the frost at the moment, we're having copious amounts of condensation in the roof. There wasn't enough air vents out there. The sarking or the felt or the breathable membrane is actually starting to come down now, which is not a good thing, and there's nothing we can do at the moment. We're going to have to get a dehumidifier and get it up in the attic to actually reduce some of the water, the moisture content that actually is up there. And I was talking to somebody this week. It's amazing. It's amazing the amount of water, that the moisture that we're producing in the house. We're cooking, we're showering, we're in the bath, we're running taps, we're cleaning the floor, we're boiling the kettle. There's moisture all the time, and you'd be absolutely shocked the amounts of moisture that migrates through your plasterboard. Yeah, absolutely. And the way they build now isn't as solid as what it was in the past. It's all about the UV values, and I'm afraid that in this house, the UV values has been compromised. Good morning, Di. How's it going? Good to see David on here. New buildings are substandard, yeah, without a doubt. And you will know, of all people, you've been in the industry for some time. Robbie from New Views. What I'm going to do, New Views, I'm going to put this out now. New Views, I'm going to get in my book, and each week I can look back. Robbie, good to see you, mate. And I'm going to actually try and remember your name. It's what I do. The Hulk isn't joining us this morning, Gareth, and we've got John Ward and the usual that aren't on here this morning because they got a lot of things to do. We're going to stay with this live stream this morning. If you want to call in this morning, the number is 077 95 595 994. Or if you want to send me a picture, Robbie, I love to see what you're doing this morning. Doesn't matter. Send me a picture of what you've been doing this week. Drop me a WhatsApp if you want. It'd be good to actually see. The number is 07795 595 994. There we are. No rude pictures. Don't want to see them. Rob Fry says we have been doing our New Year's resolution. 1, finish both gardens. Yeah, absolutely. Finish. That's what it's about, though. You see, Rob. That's what I talked about. Probably the two most important disciplines that you need to do in life is commitment and consistency. If you haven't got commitment, you're not going to start. If you haven't got consistency, you're not going to finish. There we are. I need to change that title. Business Health Heck. It's not Health Heck, it's Health Check. Eh? What a plonker. I can say it, I'm not swearing. Ian says, I think customers are getting more demanding. They expect more for their money than ever before. Well, rightly so in some respect. At least deliver, if you're a contractor, deliver what you promised. I've seen so many posts. If you look at Matt Albright on the BBC, on that programme, I can't even remember what it was called now, Road Traders, that's what it was called, Road Traders. It's absolutely amazing some of the work that people are turning out, and amazingly bad, I should say, rather than amazingly good. It's not a good thing, is it? The amounts of work, the poor quality that people are actually turning out. My son and I are building a hedgehog house today. Do you know, I'm glad that you actually said that, Rob, this morning, because Alice and I was talking about watching the birds in the garden trying to get through the ground. So I'm gonna dig up a couple of little areas, so I want them to actually have their natural food substance that they actually go looking for. I'm a bit living near a river. We've got to be really careful what we put on the floor because of rats and vermin that come around. But we can put things up high. We can put those fat balls up on a string line somewhere so the birds can get to it. It's so important. That's a good point, Rob. Thanks very much for that. More customers are asking us more and more to use old material. Why are they asking you that, Mario? Are they changing the style of their paving or their landscaping in using the old material? Do you know, I tell you what, I'm glad you said that. One of the things that at the moment, Mario, I think there's a lot of suppliers out there that are selling product. I mention this on a regular basis. Some of their old stock at new prices. They've bought product at old prices and they're selling it at the new prices. James B says there needs to be a rogue customers to balance out the program lot. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, I think you're absolutely right. It's funny that nobody's taken that up because there is rogue customers. There are people that are really sort of bad about what they do and how they go about things. It's not good at all. I think you got a really good point there, James. Look, we're just going through this thing this morning, and I'm going to try and get to it because it's so important. I'm going to get the book up on there, and I'm going to try and read some of these things what I actually wanted to talk about. Because if I don't do it, I really feel as if a bit annoyed with myself that I never mentioned it. So when we look at our businesses, we said, is your business in good health or are you in good health? Are you in good health? That's the other thing what we've got to talk about. Are you in good health? Are you eating correctly? And the thing is, when we do what we do, there's no doubt about it, and certainly in all these contractors that do work out there, the landscaping, we're covering a multiple of disciplines. Doesn't mean to say that we're not professional in what we're doing. We're covering a multiple of disciplines. Honest, some of the landscapers out there are good bricklayers, and some of them are bricklayers, some of them are ground workers, civil engineers, and carpenters, and I've even seen plumbers going into this. We've got a picture coming in this morning. Good to see. Thanks very much. I really appreciate that. So if you want to send, I'm going to just say now, if you want to send a picture in this morning on my WhatsApp, it's 07795 595 994. Let's have a look. The number is up there on screen. Look, you've got to be in good health. You've got to start looking after yourself. It's so important to do a little bit of exercise to reduce some of the alcohol that you're consuming. And I've never been a big boozer, never. Last week, I think I had 4 small bottles of beer and I had a Baileys. Last night I had a glass of red wine and I had a Baileys when Alison was actually sleeping again, watching a Netflix, and she just fell asleep again because we've had a busy day. And look, you know, just reduce the amount of alcohol that you're consuming. It's not always a good thing. That will help to put your business in a good place. So many things that we should be talking about this morning. I absolutely love it. I wish I could get you all in one area. We can actually talk and have conversation and have a mingle and talk about the things, the good things, the bad things, and the things that make us laugh, because they're so important as well. It's so important to be in a good place and to be happy. And you won't be in a good place if you're stressing out all the time. Certainly with the landscapers, working outside, working in the elements, it's a difficult job. And that's probably why you should probably charge a little bit more than some contractors that are working indoors, that aren't struggling with the elements like we do. We need to take our time. Don't be pressurized to getting jobs finished if you can help it. That's the thing, you see. That's the thing, you know. You've got to quarantine your work, got to keep it clean, got to keep it dry, as dry as possible. You don't want to be working in the frost. And I suggest that across the country, and I've said this so many times, there would be copious amounts of people laying paving in that frost the other week. If you have to do it, don't put so much water in it and then cover it up, quarantine it, and just make sure everything's protected. That's what you need to do for you and for the consumer. It's not a good thing. Just got to go through the book now. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about health, but certainly one of the things that I see on a regular basis, that people don't look after their business. And when I say don't look after their business, that could apply to many things. But one way that they don't look after their business is they're always approaching this period before Christmas and getting into November towards Christmas. They're struggling for work, okay? They're struggling for work. Probably one of the most important times of the year. Obviously, you're approaching a period where you want to spend some time with your family, you want to treat yourself, you want to treat your family and your kids, and the bills need to be paid, because you're not going to get so much work done in the winter. It's going to slow down simply because of what I spoke about was the elements, the winter. It's not a good thing. Hiya, Jem, how's it going, bud? Yeah, you know, it's not a good thing, is it? You know, working in the winter conditions, it's going to slow you down. Your income, your generated income, is going to start reducing simply because of the weather. It's a terrible thing to do. So you've got to put yourself in a good place before we hit these points. Before we hit these points, we need to put ourselves in a good position. And how we put ourselves in a good position is that we need to charge right, and we need to deliver right, okay? It's about the attention to detail and what they say, the devil's in the detail, okay? It's about belt and braces. Just going to read what people are saying there. The best thing you can do for hedgehogs is cut a small hole in one of your fences so they can travel between gardens. Good idea, Ian. Fantastic idea. We got to look after the hedgehogs. Mario Ritchie says business 10, bones 3. Brilliant. Dry Pigeon. Dave says there are newish builds just up the road from here, John. It's on its second roof and it's only 3 years old, and the brickwork's so bad I'd be asking for money back or render on for the complete house. Yeah, not good at all, is it? And you know as well as I know, Di, I've known you for a long time. We know that it's just bad. It's not good at all. And I think the reason for it, David, is that what's happening is that the contract work across the country, they're under so much pressure to get it done. They're not getting the best prices and they're compromising the work. There's no ifs or buts about it. Robbie says from New View Landscapes, small overview video of our current project sent to you, bud. Really appreciate that, Rob. No, honestly, I love looking at the messages after and the pictures that people are sending me. It doesn't matter even if you're not a contractor, even if you're a consumer watching this morning, send me some pictures of maybe some potential work that you're thinking of having. You need some advice, maybe I can help you with that. If you probably want some advice or some consulting on a potential project in the new year, doesn't matter where you are across the country, just drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. I've always forgot to say that, and maybe I can help to get you on the right road to ensure that you don't end up with a bad job, and point you in a direction and a few pointers that makes your project a healthy project. We want things to be healthy. There's no doubt that people find it because the economic downturn and inflation has actually dropped by 1% this month. I think it's nearly 1%. Interest rates are going up, okay? There's no doubt about that, and that's absolutely fine. I think it's actually a good thing. When we look back at the 80s, it was like 15.5%, 16.5% back in the 80s, and we got through it. And when people look at the interest rates now, it's just beyond. They look at it and they think, well, how are we going to manage it? And I understand that in some cases, going up like 1% can put your mortgage through the roof. It's not a good thing, but you need to be in a good place in the first place. Just going to go back to it. I was working in Sunderland last week. It was -6, says Rob Fry. Yeah, -6, not good at all. Rob, are you working still on those bricks, on those chimneys on the inside? 69 is our Mario. Lewis Taylor says, to improve my business health, I've invested in a tractor barrow and a table saw this week. Next year is going to be a lot more efficient and easier on the body. That's how you make a healthy business. Lewis Taylor summed it up perfectly. He's got that bridge saw and he's got a track dumper. Makes it a lot more easy. He doesn't have to worry about the labor. He can use a small machine to load it up. He doesn't have to worry about the labor. What is your labor actually doing for you as a business? Okay, what you'll find is with a track machine, if you want to put yourself in a good place, if you think about what your labor is costing, just look at this. What your labor is costing in a year, one laborer, okay, when we think about what they're actually doing, okay, it's going automated, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. If we got a track dumper, I don't know, Lewis, what you paid for your track dumper, but what are they? They do range depending on what you get. But if you got a good one, you may pay about £8,000 for a real good one, a skip loading track dumper. That's what you want. When you think about using one of those, I know you got to get to the job, but you're not paying PAYE and you're not paying out their insurance, but you need insurance obviously to do a build, to be in somebody's property. It's so important to have public liability. But when we actually think about the people that don't want to work in this industry anymore because it's getting difficult, having a track machine, Lewis has summed it up perfectly there. It's a little bit more difficult moving things around because he might have to do it by himself. But the fact is, he's made it easier on his body, and that's what he summed it up perfectly there. He's doing the numbers, okay, on buying a dumper, and he's actually doing the numbers when it comes to his own personal health. It makes it a lot more easier. And these little track dumpers do get in and out of people's gates in the back garden, and I've seen them actually go through houses as well. And it does happen. People do, believe it or not, want you to go through the house to just make sure you've got some insurance for that. Di says, true, John, but should never cut corners when the customer's paying top money for new homes. No, absolutely, I totally agree with you. Mario Ritchie says, worried about the last 22 years, how are we going to get through the winter? Yeah, totally agree. It's great to see. Oh, there he is. Top notch. Good morning, Steve. How's it going, bud? Who we got there? Good morning, John. Good morning. Rob Fry says, yes, still doing refractory bricklaying. It'd be good to see a picture of that this morning. Great reading the comments. And I'm going to remember this name forever now because this is what I do. New views. Robbie says, best thing we done this year was to buy the Zoe 130. Well, there you are. The Zoe 130. The Ramonde. There we are. That's what he's bought. Cracking little tool. We know it's good, but it does come at a cost, okay? It does come at a cost. Lewis says, our Hyundai 2.5 carries triple the load to a standard wheelbarrow. Is it a lift skip loading dumper, Lewis? That's what I want to know. And if not, why? And I reckon you'll be trading that in for another one. But I want to have a look at that. I want to see what our Hyundai actually looks like. It's great having you all on here this morning. Don't forget, when you join the live stream, you can actually give it a like. 23 live viewers, and we've got 15 likes to get a few more likes on here this morning. If you noticed by the title this morning, and did I do it on purpose? Business Health Hack for 2023. No, we call it a health check. We want to get through this morning. what I was talking about for businesses is that I hear all too often, I get messages, I get phone calls and people saying they're running out of work, etc. You need to put yourself out there, and what you need to do, you need the quantities of calls coming in so you can pick the quality of customer that you're actually going to work for. You want to be able to go through those customers and know that you can actually charge enough, where, and maybe a little bit more, where you can take your time on a job and you can get it right. Cheers, Rob, thanks for that. Just some more pictures coming in this morning. Think about what you're actually doing, okay? Think about how you're choosing your customers, but you need to get on your social media platforms. It's as simple as that. One thing I've got to point out, probably one of the biggest platforms that gets missed on a regular basis that people don't use enough, okay? They don't realize the biggest platform, the biggest search engine out there is Google. Google allows you to register your business. It's called Google My Business. This may be obvious to some people, but certainly for other people it is not so obvious. There is a platform called Google My Business. You can register your business for nothing, okay? Yes, for nothing, on the biggest search platform, search engine in the world. Register your business, get on there. You can do a number of things as well. Once you register your business, you can get customers to post reviews on you. The more reviews that you post on Google Your Business, the more interaction that Google will want to share with potential clients. That's how it works, through the algorithms, through the spiders and the robots. The more you use the Google My Business, the better it is for you. You'll get good exposure to potential clients because they want to get the ads in front of those potential clients. And one thing you can actually do on Google My Business, you can actually use it almost like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any other of those social media platforms. You can actually post on there and say what you're doing, just like you do on Instagram, and you can share your pictures as well. It's a brilliant platform. Just get on there and use it and check it out. Just go on YouTube. You can check out Google My Business, Google own YouTube, okay? So there will be videos on YouTube about how to use Google My Business. It's very, very simple. Open a couple of pages, find the appropriate YouTube video. You can click and stop and make the adjustments as you go along. It's very, very simple, just by jumping from one page to another. Now, for some of you, that might sound simple, and you're probably saying, my God, are people that silly? Well, it's not because they're silly, it's because they've never done it before. But that's what this channel is about, to help. Get on Google My Business and use it in that way. One thing that you need to do, use it sensibly, okay? Don't just spam it, because Google will drop you down the rank. It's not a good thing just to spam it. Use it in a way that is what it's meant to use for, okay? Social media. Social media is about being sociable. I see so many people not using these things, and it's not a good thing. I gotta have a drink now because I haven't stopped. It's good to have you on here this morning. 26 live viewers, 16 likes. Come on, give it some likes. This Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy, and we're asking: is your business in good health? Is your business health check for 2023? As you can see by the title, I got it wrong. If you want to call me this morning, you can call on 077 95664 002. Gems on here. Not seeing the undisclosed location for a while, John. Is it a BT issue? Well, I'll tell you now, my friend. I tell you now, and you know you're my friend. We're up and running nearly. I've got the cable in the ducting right there, just at that point on the outside. Just got to bring it in and stick it in the router in the back. And obviously, we're going to get the computer. I've got an older Mac or a screen that I can actually put outside, which we're going to get out there and we can actually start showcasing. I've got to get some heating in there. I've got to do the ceiling, but maybe you'll see the ceiling before I actually finish it off. I've plastered it, give it a quick skim, but I want to do something special with the ceiling. If anybody has any ideas what you can do with ceilings to make things look that little bit more attractive, let me know. Let's just read some of the comments now. Rob Fryer says, sent you a few photos. Rob, very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. We'll have a look at those out after. Alison says, Lewis Taylor, spot on, will make all the difference. Yeah, think about using automation to help your business. It will put you in a good place. Just imagine the actual strain that you're taking off your body by buying the correct machinery, and you don't have to worry about PAYE, wear the clothing, or even boots, or even sandwiches, or even buying their breakfast on a regular basis. Ian Goodgin says, sorry Johnny boy, got to go. Have a great Christmas, mate, and a happy new year. Ian, no problem at all. Have a very Merry Christmas. This is the last live stream for the new year, but I will be doing some posts on YouTube. Good to have you on, Ian. Thank you very much, and it'd be great to speak to you one day. We got Marcus from Nuttall Landscapes. Google will have the phone We'll have the phone non-stop ringing if you just use it every day. There you are. You've had it there from the horse's mouth from Marcus. He says Google will have your phone ringing every day if you just use it every day. Listen, it's so important that just because you got working, it doesn't mean to say that you can't maintain your social media presence. You need to keep on top of it. There's ways of actually reducing. Again, you can use automation for your social media platforms. You can engage with somebody to actually arrange to do your social media if you like, okay? You can actually do it yourself. You can have predetermined posts, and then you can stream them at a later date, and you can schedule those posts. And there's loads of different platforms that you can actually use that for using that, and you can share it to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Instagram, to Facebook, to Google, okay? There's ways of doing it, but it's so important for me that when you do a post, it has to be from the heart, and the only way to do it from the heart sometimes is to make it more relevant and try and do it as you go along, because people can actually see, post a picture about having a cup of coffee and you're heading out this morning to do a job and explain about what you're doing, okay? You can talk about the challenges ahead, okay? You can talk about the day you had before, okay? You can actually say what you do as a business, just use it. Start having conversation. That's what it's about. It's almost like at the bus stop. It's almost like in the doctor's surgery. It's almost like parking your car, you're talking about the weather, you exchange, you engage with people, you have conversation. That's how you make it work, okay? Use the social media in the way that humans communicated for years, just by talking, saying hi, hello, putting yourself out there. That's what you need to do. 20 live viewers, got 17 likes at last. Let's see if we can get it to 20. There will be people out there this morning who won't know how to give it a like. If you want to give me a call this morning, and we've had no callers this morning, do you know what I try and do? I don't try and arrange too often to get people to phone in. I want it to try and be natural, but people are always happy to share and talk on this live stream and pass messages on, but sometimes they're not necessarily don't want to engage on the phone call, but it's absolutely fine. If you want to call in, give us a call on 07795 595 994, or even better still, you can actually drop me, don't call me on that number, you can actually drop me a message on that number, and I want to see what you're doing this morning. We've got Gareth has joined this morning. Hi Johnny, Alison, everyone, having to work today, no signal, just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. What a decent guy. And look at the Christmas tree, and keep safe and are like the live, Johnny. Thanks for the content this year. No, thank you for joining, because this is not about me, it's about you guys as a community. This is going to continue into the new year, and we're going to be doing it from the undisclosed location, as Jem says. Jem says, don't tell Rocco. No, he chewed the cable, the Ethernet cable. Rocco was here and he chewed it. It was like an £80 cable and he chewed it. Just read what Jem says. Mario says, always get your customers to leave reviews. Yeah, absolutely. Mario, we've spoke about this so many times on this channel, and people just fail to do it. I've always said before, right? Thanks, Rob. I've always said before, just do, right, whatever you're doing, just do a checklist of your business. Get a pen and paper, or a pencil and paper, chalkboard, whatever you're doing. Start writing down what you need to do. You need to make that list, and by the end of the year, even if you can't get it done in the first month, your aim should be to get through that checklist, even if it is by the end of the year. If it takes you all year to do it and you get through it, you've accomplished something. So make sure you write that list down. And that's what I'm proposing, hopefully in the new year, at Styled in Banbury, Oxfordshire, Styled Porcelain Pave. I'm not getting paid to say this, okay? And I wish I was. So Matt, if you're watching this morning, you can pay me to say this. No, what we want to try and do, I want to propose a workshop. And the workshop, Annie, how can any of us like teach people how to lay slab thread? But we can have a workshop. We can talk about all sorts of things, and we can exchange, and we can network, and we can talk, and we look at other people's ideas, because there's different ways of doing things. A workshop for a landscaper would be good. If we can have 10 next year, once a month, okay, at least 10, if not 12. It'd be good to do, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely fantastic. Meeting you guys and doing that in regular. And even the consumer, potential clients can come along and meet other landscapers, and they can tell them about their stories, and also tell them the things that as a consumer, what they're actually looking for, what they need to be told, what advice, and etc., etc. Okay, but it's about networking. By talking to the consumer, you can actually learn about them as well as them learning about you. Stan says, I'm only 38. Good to see, Stan. Thanks, Bird. What's that? Thanks, Bird. That's gold info. I was going to ask you what to write on post. I feel like a dinosaur with technology. Never. Mario, I might do it next Saturday for you. Stan, please never ever feel like a dinosaur at 38 using social media. Just don't do it. If we look at some of the people around the world using social media to their benefits in some way, just use it to your benefit. Don't ever use anything as a detriment. As soon as it becomes a detriment, you need to stop it, whatever you're doing. But just use it, okay, to an advantage for you. It's for you to improve. It's got to be a good thing to use social media. See it as a positive thing of doing. And if it's good, it puts you in a good place, it's fine to use it. But just think about the hands and the eyes, and sometimes the head. Sometimes you need to come off it. There's a thing called digital dementia, okay? It's almost like drinking alcohol or even gambling. But for those two disciplines, if you want to call them a discipline, some people have got it to a fine art. And the fact is, let's just end that. When we think about alcohol and gambling, what we think about is that we can have help through it with Alcohol's Anonymous and Gamblers Anonymous, but digital dementia, you don't get any help at all. And digital dementia is that moment when you look at your phone and then you put it down, and just be aware of this, Stan, and you put the phone down, okay, and within seconds you're looking back again to see if you've had any notifications. It's not a good place to be. It's a bad thing. So think about that as well. That's another story. I just noticed 20 likes this morning, and it's gone up to 26 live viewers. Thanks for joining this morning. It's Landscape Survival Saturday morning podcast with Johnny Boy, and as usual, we got our usual watchers on here. We're talking about all sorts of things this morning. I've been trying to get through this list, but as per usual, I get sidetracked by the engagement that people are on here. 38 Stan, it's not a problem at all. Lewis says, lol, get on there, okay? If you want some help with it, Stan, just give me a ring. More than happy to talk to you about it. And I'll give you my opinion, what works well for me. But as I said, get on social media. It will keep you in work. It will keep the work coming in. And even when you're working in your head, you're rolling on, it's all looking good, keep on your social media. You can reduce the amounts you're posting, but just keep on it. So important. You need to keep on it. It will keep you in the right place. Key masonry, building, landscaping. Guys, we're heading for hard times. Do you think so? I think they're here, bud. In my opinion, I think they're here. But we can keep on top of it. Andy Jackson says, morning, Johnny Boy and chat. Yeah, good morning, Andy. Good to see you. Good to see people. Don't forget mine. Drop me a picture from where you are. I want to know where you are in the world and what you're doing. You can drop it on WhatsApp 07795 595 994. I want to see what people's doing. I'm going to get my number on here 07795 595 994. Look, listen, I'm doing these numbers. I keep going back to it, and I don't want to bore people with it, but I want people to communicate and exchange and talk to me. If you are a consumer out there right now and thinking about a project in the new year, and you're a bit concerned about how to choose a landscaper, how to choose a contractor, I have done a video on it. If you want to talk to me at any point, just drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. I'm going to get on this a little bit more from now and in the new year, and I will be able to help you to source a landscaper and put you in the right place. Maybe I could do the job for you myself. It doesn't matter where you are in a country or in the world. We have traveled many, many times, even to Australia many, many years ago. But let me help you to put you in the right place and help you to put forward the questions that you need to ask your contractor, things to look out for, things to watch, the way to move forward. Let me help you with that process, okay, on how to choose your landscaper. Lewis says, thanks, Alison. Get on to it this weekend. I need work for next year. So important. That's what I like about Lewis. He's on it top notch. Says, not been working all week this week. Of course, snow, not a good thing for people. That's why we also got to think about our business, the health check of our business. We got to account for these days earlier on in the year, you know, for these. We got to have a contingency plan, haven't we? We've got to have things set in place. This is what we need to do. And that's when you can see the comments coming through. It will help to remind you of what's actually happening. 21 likes, we got over it. Thanks very much, really, really appreciate it. Stay with it, we're not on the hour yet. Stay with it, stay with me now. Stan says, thanks, this week I will be calling. Stan, that's no problem at all. Let me help you to actually sort your social media out. It's so important. Years ago, we used Yellow Pages and we had to pay for it. And we paid for each category, whether we were doing decking, fencing, or landscaping, whatever, or turfing. We had all these different categories. It used to cost a fortune. It doesn't cost nothing now. The only thing it costs is your time. And your time, you can decide how much you want to put into it. It's up to you, innit? You're the one that makes the difference. Doers and don'ters. Be a doer and not a don'ter. The information is on here. It's coming through thick and fast. Good to see. Jem says, John, your live videos and advice from yourself and others on the platform has been really helpful for me and as a new business. Keep up the good work and wishing everyone a very happy Christmas. Love it. People are so polite and so well mannered that they come on here. It's absolutely fantastic. James B says, as somebody who's been working outside for many years in various parts of the country, do you think winters are getting longer, cold periods, and summers are getting long, hot periods? I don't know, James. It's really hard to say, isn't it? You know, I think there is a trend, but you just need to have listen to some of these podcasts about what's happening. I think the thing that is obvious, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I think it's getting a lot wetter than what it was in the past. It's a lot milder, I think, than what it was in the past. And when we do seem to have cold conditions, they do come cold. And I don't want to share my view on global warming because not everybody would necessarily agree with what I'm actually saying. But if we listen to the scientists now, they say it is happening. I probably think it is happening. But when you look at I watched a program this week with there was an awards ceremony going on, and it was about the carbon footprint and how we can reduce it. I was even watching Down to Earth with Zac Efron, where he's in Australia, and they were looking at foods and everything, and there was a couple there that was producing a plastic that is almost plastic free, solvent based products free. They're making actual plastic from potato waste and fruit waste. You know, how they're doing it, I don't know. There still was an amount of oil on there, but apparently it will break down if it's put in the sea. So in answer to your question about the weather, I'm not quite sure how it goes. I believe that what's going to happen is that I think global warming is just a natural thing, what's going on, and I think that we may not necessarily see it in our lifetimes, but I think maybe the people that be living on this earth may see some of the similar conditions as what we lived in the past. And I think that it just comes thick and fast. I'm not quite sure about how it's going. That's just another question, but I think it's got very, very wet, which is not a good thing. And that's one of the reasons that probably I'll be heading out of this industry in not necessarily the near future, but in the future. And I'm not giving up. I'm not retiring. I'm going to be doing some other things. Let me just read some of the things that people actually says now. I hope that answers your question, James. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody on here. If you want to drop me an email, just drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. Johnny Boy, a trusted trader. Yeah, absolutely. Another one. Trusted trader. Another way of doing it. You've got all those sites where you can register your business. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or not, because we need to be thorough about consumer how we're choosing our contractor, don't we? And a lot of people can actually go on Trusted Trader. Not sure about it, to be honest, Mario, in my opinion. Nuts all landscapes. Marcus says ground frozen, MOT is frozen, sounds frozen. I'm only trying to get a disabled ramp in for my dad with a bit of patio, but not had a good day of weather since I dug it out on the first day. I think the thing is, Marcus, we can actually we can quarantine our products and we can start thawing them out now. There's ways of doing it and getting the sheets on. James B says, long as I can remember. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Orchid Landscaping. Good to see you, bud. I forgot your name. Stu. There we are, Stu. I'm going to write that down now because I'll always remember it. When I did my HNC years ago, the best way I actually remember things was by writing out Orchid Landscapes, and it's Stu. Stu, good morning, bud. If I forget your name again, please forgive me. I'm going to use this on a regular basis, so next week when I look back, I'll be able to look back and see some of the names that I actually wrote down. It's so important. Start writing things down, get that checklist. That's what I was saying this afternoon. Do a checklist at least once a day, get that paper out. 22 live viewers. Give us a call if you want to give us a call, or drop us an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. He says, Johnny, your advice for me as being first class, when I call, I was surprised you answered and called me back. You're great. All the best, Stu. Stu, you're the best as well. And I really appreciate you even coming on this morning. You are what makes this channel, and everybody else joining this morning. I really, really appreciate it. Let's read some of the comments. James says, Alison, we had a long dry summer and a very wet autumn. Yeah, we did. And where were the winds? To get the leaves off the tree. The leaves are hanging on the trees as well. James, I really think it's going to come back to the way we knew it when we were kids, I think, at some point. Lewis says, I think our bodies get climatized from working outside all year. I don't feel the cold as much as these days. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, we do. We adapt, don't we? As human beings, we adapt to situations. Top Notch says, I saw landscaping working for houses from me, mixing concrete, then still snow on the ground. Not good at all. Not good at all. There are ways of doing it, but no, you could question that. James B says, be very careful paying for work leads from companies asking for money up front to generate leads. I totally agree with you, James, on that. Absolutely, 100%. Well, look, guys, we've hit the hour mark, and I have to say, I would love to carry on this morning, but I have a rule: is when we get to the hour mark, we call it a day, and we need to be structured. We need to make sure that we allocate a certain amount of time, and that's what I was talking about, time management. I'm not going to allow this to go on any further, but I am going to read the last comment there from Alison. She says, James B, agree. James, we never use any of these. All our work comes from recommendations on Google. Yeah, absolutely. Recommendations and Google, I should say, rather. Look, thank you all for joining this morning. I'm sorry that I didn't have a Christmas tree up. John Allison, thank you, and a Merry Christmas. It's a Merry Christmas to all of you. I think Mario said, can I do next Saturday? Otherwise, I don't even know what the date is. 7 days from now, it's the 17th. So it'd be Christmas Eve, wouldn't it? I don't think I'm going to do that because I'll get told off. Thank you all for joining. And as Carl says there, and he summed it up perfectly, Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't pay for leads, waste of money, says Stu. Yeah, probably so. Look, listen, just Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you all for joining. It's a pleasure doing these live streams throughout the year. I'm going to be back on it. I am going to be posting on the community page, so give it a like. I'm going to share some pictures. Get on there and have a look. It'd be good to get you guys to start watching some of the videos again, because for a lot of people, YouTubers out there, the views have gone down, and it's a great shame. James B, Merry Christmas, everyone. Stu says, Merry Christmas. Robbie says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Lewis says, I get my leads from rated people, word of mouth, and defo getting onto Google this weekend. Thanks for your tip. Get on Google, so important. Thanks for joining. That's it. Gotta say no. Remember, time management is so important. It's going to put you in a good place in the future. Don't procrastinate. Just get it done. See you soon. Merry Christmas. I'm still around. Don't be lost. All the best.